5-minute warning, everyone, so if you need to use the restroom or grab a drink, make sure you do that now. We'll get in our seats and get going here in about 5 minutes. If I could have the new inductees, the Athletes of the Year Gibson, and a representative for the teams being inducted to come up to the stage. You can see you have your name up here and a spot waiting for you. So if all the new inductees, athletes, and team reps, anybody being honored today, please come up towards the front. You have a space waiting for you up here, and once you're up here, we'll get started. I think I saw Sydney step out in the hallway. She might be using the restroom. Is Ed around? If Ed Shuttlesworth is in the room, if Ed can come up. Yep. Ed, come on up. We have a spot for you up here on the dais with your name on it. What's up, Sydney? How are you? Good to see you. Okay, everyone, to get the day started, I would like to invite Brother Gene for today's invocation to get the day started. Brother Gene.
Creator God, we gather this afternoon to acknowledge you as the source of all that we accomplish. We thank you for blessing these athletes with the gifts and talents that enabled them to accomplish what they accomplished. As they continue their life, may they continue to do good things for your kingdom. We give thanks for the meal that we just received, and we ask your blessing on all of us in attendance. We pray in the name of your Son, Jesus the Lord. Amen.
So whenever I do events like this, it takes me back to high school and thinking about the things I didn't accomplish as an athlete in high school. Now listen, I got a small chuckle here from Paul. You're going to laugh here in just a second. I did receive one award. So when I went to high school, I'm from this area. I went to high school at Covington Catholic in northern Kentucky. And all I wanted to do when I went to Cov Cath was play football. My oldest brother was my high school football hero, was a great football player, and I had dreams of doing the exact same at Cov Cath. So I walked in day one. I knew the head coach because I was at every game and I would be right next to him. I wanted to be the water boy. I wanted to know the program. I wanted to be ready. So I walked in. I said, Coach Ray, here I am, day one. He goes, you are 4'11", 88 pounds. You need to find another sport. So I instantly became the first player ever cut from the Cov Cath football program, but he suggested I try something else. So I did cross country. Yes, so I did cross country, and I was on a great team. My team went on to finish second in the state in Kentucky's biggest class. We had 4 kids who went on to run in the ACC, and here I was at the end of the year at the big banquet just like this, ready to receive my big award. You know my award was? And I brought it with me today. You're going to laugh at this one. So think about this. My senior year, okay, cross country. Here I am honored as the Covington Catholic High School JV cross country most valuable runner. As a senior, okay? Yes. Now, you're thinking to yourself, does this guy just carry this with him everywhere he goes? I say absolutely, otherwise it would be on my parents' wall and people would be like, now wait a minute. You got to tell me about this one. So yes, I carry this wherever I go just so it saves me the embarrassment. Okay, so welcome everybody here to the 48th annual Buddy LaRosa's High School Hall of Fame induction ceremony. What a day we have. So many great athletes, so many great teams, so many important people to the greater Cincinnati area. Today we induct 6 new members, 2 new teams, and 2 more LaRosa's MVPs of the year. This is my first year as the MC of this program. I say that only to say this. I wore 2 pairs of socks today, DJ, because the shoes are too big for me to filling in for Dennis Jansen. It is such an honor for me to take over for DJ. He did this for 27 years. DJ, if I do this for 2 to 7 years, it'll be an honor. It has been such a great learning experience watching and learning from you, not only on the television side, but here at this induction ceremony. So one time for Dennis Jansen, 27 years as the MC. To begin today's induction ceremony, please welcome the CEO of LaRosa's, Mr. Michael LaRosa.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of our team at LaRosa's Family Pizzerias, I want to welcome you to the 48th, we're closing in on 50, 48th annual Buddy LaRosa High School Sports Hall of Fame ceremony. Hey, my dad, Buddy, is with us here today. So, Dad, please stand so we can welcome you and show you some love. There he is. If you're not aware, my dad is a proud graduate of Roger Bacon High School, and we are thrilled to be here to celebrate the Hall of Fame induction ceremony at this tremendous school. And my dad always shares with people that the 4 years that he received his Franciscan-led education here at Roger Bacon influenced his character development more than any other experience in his lifetime. Now, our 50-year commitment to supporting the Hall of Fame and recognizing excellence in high school is driven from his appreciation for the quality experiences that he had here at Roger Bacon. His teachers, his coaches, all the administrators here set in place the cornerstone for his life and made a huge positive difference in influencing his personal success. So as Joe said, today we're going to honor 5 of our local star athletes, 2 fabled high school championship teams, and 1 legendary high school coach, as well as the naming of our 2022 and 23 male and female athletes of the year. So I'd like to thank our Committee of Hall of Fame judges. I'd like to thank Beth Rupert, all of our friends here at Roger Bacon who make today's celebration possible, and especially Joe Daneman, our MC, for all the work that he does in putting the program on today. So I hope you enjoy the show. Thank you.
So my day job, I work at Channel 19 here in Cincinnati. I'm the sports director for Fox 19, and it's such an honor working in my hometown. People always ask me, what's it like working in your hometown? Well, nowadays it's interesting because the teams just never lose anymore, the way things are going with the Reds, FC Cincinnati, and with Joe Burrow as quarterback of the Bengals. But working in your hometown has sometimes its small disadvantages. So I'll tell you a quick story. I'm inside the Bengals locker room in Buffalo after the Bengals win the big playoff game this last year to go to the AFC Championship. And the modern TV reporter, we don't just do TV anymore, we also do social media simultaneously. So it's myself and my coworker Jeremy. Jeremy's running the camera. I've got the microphone. I'm in charge of asking questions, but also at the same time, I have my phone with me. So the modern TV guy is holding one hand with a microphone, the other one with his cell phone like this, getting videos to share on social media right after the game because so many Bengals fans, I'm sure in this room, you want to hear what Joe Burrow said about the game. You want to hear what Jamar Chase said about the game. And he's always my first target after games. I love to go to Jamar Chase because he's the one guy in that room who will really start to speak with his chest about what the Bengals just did. So there we are in Buffalo, snowing outside. Bengals are going to the AFC Championship, and I'm interviewing Jamar Chase. Hands are full. Remember that. One hand with the mic, other hand with the phone. I have no more hands to put out any fires I got to put out. So we're in the middle of talking to Jamar Chase about this game, and we all have that one text chain in our phone, right? That if the wrong person saw, you'd be like, oh, I'm a little bit embarrassed. That's me with my brothers. I have 3 brothers, all massive Bengals fans. So here I am interviewing Jamar Chase, and my phone is going wild. Ding, ding, ding. Text after text after text. And when you have your phone turned sideways, you get a little preview of what that text message says. So to give you a visual, you're in a big group of people here. So it's not just me interviewing Jamar Chase. There's about 5 or 6 other media members, and everybody can see what these messages are saying. I can't do anything. My hand's got a microphone, my other hand's got the phone. I'm trying to hit it with my nose and get rid of it. And this thing is going so crazy and getting so out of control, I get a tap on my shoulder, and it's Tyler Boyd. He says, "Man, your text chain is lit, bro." I said, "If you guys win next week and go to the Super Bowl, you have no idea what this thing is going to look like." So I learned that day, put your notifications off before you go inside the Bengals locker room. But that's part of working in your hometown and your brothers being fans of the hometown team. Now, I bring up that story because today is almost a home game for the guy sitting right next to me. He is Paul Keels. He is from the Cincinnati area, went to Moeller High School, went to Xavier University, and is also a 5-time Ohio Broadcaster of the Year. His resume, Paul Keels, is tremendous. He's done Bengals games, he's done Reds games, but to me, his work doing play-by-play of Ohio State's games makes him one of the best to ever do it. A member of the Ohio Broadcasters Hall of Fame. And I just saw some kids walk in, so I have to clean this up, Paul. The best darn voice in the land. Paul Keels, ladies and gentlemen, to continue the program.
Joe, thank you for those nice words. What Joe didn't mention, that Ohio Broadcasting Hall of Fame, the year I was inducted, it closed. So, so I take credit for breaking it. It's a pleasure to be here, and as a graduate of Moeller High School, thank you, Roger Bacon, for allowing me inside enemy territory. It's the first time I've ever been inside Roger Bacon's school. But it's a pleasure to be involved in the 48th annual Buddy LaRosa's High School Sports Hall of Fame, a tradition that is unlike any other. This past year, just like many other years, the achievements of young people in athletics in Southwest Ohio and Northern Kentucky were legendary. When you think about state champions, All-Americans, future Olympians, and talented student athletes who will be competing not only in their chosen sport, but also competing academically at their next places. An indication of how strong this past year was in high school sports throughout this region, state championships in both states, Ohio and Kentucky, won in golf, cross country, swimming, tennis, rugby, boys and girls volleyball, boys and girls wrestling, cross country, track and field, soccer, basketball, football, and baseball. Today, we want to recognize the best of these athletes, the best of the best. A tough choice, selecting the male and female athletes of the year, a difficult one because of the talent of all of the people who were considered. So many exceptional performances, but eventually it got pared down to the 2 winners. And we would now like to introduce the 2 very gifted student athletes who were chosen as the LaRosa's High School male and female MVPs of the year for 2022 and 2023. First, the LaRosa's female MVP of the year is Soleil Williams from Princeton High School, a basketball star in the class of 2023. One of Princeton's most decorated players on this side of Kelsey Mitchell, Soleil Williams this past season led the Lady Vikings to a 28-2 record and the 3rd Ohio State Girls Basketball Championship in school's history. Soleil had a memorable senior year. 2nd straight year she led the GMC in scoring, averaging 20.2 points a game. She also led the conference in steals, 3.4 per game, 2nd in field goal percentage at almost 52%, and 3rd in assists at almost 3.5 per game. Soleil's honors for basketball included being named the Ohio Gatorade Player of the Year, the Ohio Division I Player of the Year, Southwest Ohio District 16 Player of the Year, Cincinnati Division I Player of the Year, and GMC Conference Player of the Year for the 2nd straight year. She was also nominated as a McDonald's All-American. Soleil has authentic basketball bloodlines. Her father, who, when he played at UC, we used to jokingly call him the Little O, Orlando Williams, played college basketball for the Bearcats. Her Princeton High School head coach, Dee Davis, who herself is a McDonald's All-American, during her playing days at Princeton said, "This young lady walks the walk, and as a coach, I feel very blessed to have been able to coach this young woman. Her character and her work ethic grab your attention." A good student who's also active in community service, Soleil will play her basketball collegiately at Texas A&M University. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 and 23 LaRosa's Female MVP of the Year, Ohio Division I Girls Basketball Player of the Year, Soleil Williams, who unfortunately could not be here today, but she taped an acceptance speech prior to leaving for Texas A&M.
Hey everyone, it's Soleil here, and I just want to say I am very honored for the award I am receiving from LaRosa's, and I want to thank the committee for nominating me for the Athlete of the Year award. I am very much thankful for that, and I want to thank my family, of course, for staying in my corner throughout the whole entire process of my life and career. I want to thank my coaches that has also been with me for my 4 years, and seeing my ups and downs and still seeing the best in me. I want to thank my friends and also the supporters that's been with me that I haven't talked to on a daily basis, but I definitely still feel the love. And I just graduated today, so that's kind of why I'm in this gown. But I want to say thank you. It's been amazing, accomplishing everything I have dreamed to accomplish. And I want to thank God, of course, because without him, I would not be here either. So thank you, everyone.
And here to accept the award on behalf of Soleil is her Princeton varsity head coach and former McDonald's All-American, Dee Davis.
That's a well-spoken young woman. Do you agree? I want to say thank you so much for nominating and not inducting yet, but selecting Soleil Williams for this very prestigious award. I want to say thank you so much to the board, the selection committee, LaRosa's, all of the inductees today. It's just an amazing honor. I'm going to miss Soleil so much. I'm so looking forward to watching her play her next 4 years in college and hopefully beyond that. I want to thank her parents. Her mom, Deanna Williams, is here. Her sister, Santi Williams, is here. Dad, Orlando, is not present at the moment. But this has just been a tremendous honor and opportunity to work with this young lady these last 2 years. And she brought us a state championship back to Princeton. So I'm so proud of her. And I just can't thank you all enough for this honor. Thank you.
And now to introduce the 2022 and 23 LaRosa's Male MVP of the Year, Gibson Holmes, a swimming star from Indian Hill High School in the class of 2023. One of the area's all-time elite swimmers, Gibson graduated from Indian Hill with 10 Ohio State swimming championships, 7 in individual events, and as a member of 3 state champion relay teams. At this year's Ohio State Championships, he was named the Ohio Division II Boys Most Outstanding Swimmer for the 3rd time. He became the first D2 boy swimmer to win the 100-yard butterfly 4 times at the state competition. He also captured his 3rd straight state title in the 200-yard individual medley and was on the team's first-place 200-yard medley relay squad and on the winning 400 freestyle relay team. Gibson earned numerous honors, being the Division II Swimmer of the Year in Ohio, Cincinnati Division II Swimmer of the Year, CHL Swimmer of the Year. Also holds several state swimming records in the 100 butterfly and the 200 IM, and has been named a Swimming All-American 16 times. In 2022, he set the Ohio Division II state and state tournament records in both the 200 IM at 144.59 and the 100 butterfly at 46.77. A 4.4 GPA also. Gibson swims for the Mason Manta Rays Club and will continue his athletic competition at Stanford University. Please welcome the 2022-23 LaRosa's Male MVP of the Year, 16-time high school swimming All-American, Gibson Holmes.
Hello, I'd like to thank LaRosa's for nominating me for this prestigious award. I'm honored to be here. A few people who I'd like to give thanks to are my coach Matt Harrison for Indian Hill and athletic director Brian Phelps, who have continued to show unwavering support for me in and out of the classroom at Indian Hill. My coaches Ken and Emily at Mason Manta Rays, who have been my year-round coaches and have traveled all across the country to make sure that I can represent the city of Mason as well as Cincinnati well. I'd like to thank my family and my cousins and for being here. They're my greatest supporters, and I'm so happy that they would like to embark on this swimming journey with me. Thank you.
So, next, in addition to these two individual student athletes, we are also inducting two outstanding high school teams from the past into the LaRosa's Sports Hall of Fame. These inductees, legendary high school teams whose accomplishments have withstood the test of time, championship teams so exceptional they are still the gold standard today and remain an unbridled source of pride for their schools, their community, as well as their city. The first newly inducted Hall of Fame team is the girls cross-country team from Colerain High School of 1997, undefeated team coached by Ron Russo. The first of four straight state championship teams, the 1997 Colerain squad, arguably the best of the lot. The team was never really challenged throughout the season and wound up being recognized as the number 3 ranked girls team in the nation. The team brought home the first girls state title in Colerain history. Seeking national recognition that season, the team went to the nationally prestigious Penn State Invitational, hoping for a matchup against number 1 Saratoga Springs, but the New York team was a no-show at the event, and Colerain went on to win the national meet handily. Powered by team captains Allison Ziner and Jerry Buck, the Lady Cardinals won the Ohio Division I state title by 71 points. The Cardinals placed 4 girls in the top 25 finishers, led by individual state champion Kelly Crum. She was followed by Ziner, Angie Kist, Katie Grebe, Terry Littlepage, and Allison Bedingfield. As a testament to how good this team was, 11 of the runners went on to become Division I collegiate runners, including the previously mentioned runners, in addition to Cece Kinney, Jennifer Limley, Laura Scanofoli, and Andrea Moss. In addition to the state title, the team won the Greater Miami Conference, the district and regional titles, as well as being ranked number 1 in the city of Cincinnati. It was and is the greatest team I ever coached, Coach Russo said. Everything about them was special. They were very coachable, hardworking, and disciplined. They never missed practice, and their training days were epic to watch. With that group, I never walked into a meeting thinking we might get beaten. Here to say a few words about that legendary season, the assistant coach of that great team, Ron Russo.
First off, you want to come up, Ron? So, Ron's a selfless coach, and one of the things he wanted to make sure everybody got home by 6 o'clock tonight. So he sent me up here to give some short words, because if you guys know Ron, we might be here till 6 o'clock with him telling you guys about all the accolades of the 1997 team. But no, on a serious note, Ron wanted to stay with the girls because they're the epitome of a team. Back in 1997, they made an impact with the uniforms they wore. They're still, got the blue and the pink out here tonight for this ceremony. They obviously made an impact, the first of 4 state championships. They're still making an impact, this year, getting inducted into the LaRosa's Hall of Fame. So thank you to the judges, the committee, for inducting, this great group of girls. The GOAT, like we like to call him at Colerain, of cross-country coaches. So on behalf of Colerain High School, thank you very much. We'll proudly, display this next to their other hardware in the front of our building. So thank you, guys.
I'm sorry? Ron, go right ahead. Come on. Oh, some of the team members are coming up. Ladies, have at it.
As you can see what I'm wearing today, on Wednesday, one of my former runners, Allison Bedingfield, showed up at my house and handed this suit to me. As you can see, I had no choice. By the way, Joe, you'd have been JV on this team. Okay, just so that you know. This was a great, great special team. And as I was talking to Jenny, Jenny's won a number of state titles as well. There's always that one outstanding team. At Penn State, what I didn't mention, or what wasn't mentioned, was we ran the same course as the college that day. The only team that would have beaten us was Penn State. That's how good these ladies were. And so I want to thank everybody, Mike, Buddy, Mike, for recognizing this very, very special, talented group, hardworking, 5:30 in the morning practices, come back at 3 o'clock, practice, Sunday practice, 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 practice. That's what made them great. And thank you, ladies, for making it so special. I have a couple of ladies who want to say a few words as well.
Hi, I'm Allison Delgado, was betting field on this team, but it was hard to think about what exactly to say about this team, because this team has been the most impactful thing in my life, honestly. I'll never forget the day I met Ron Russo when I was in 7th grade, not even on the team yet, and I could see his energy and his confidence in his team and what we were going to accomplish. We were going to accomplish it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I think that we all got that same energy, and we all knew every day why we were going to practice and what our goal was. Our goal was that state championship every day we went out. And I've never been so excited to be a part of a team, and my whole desire going into freshman year was to be a part of the varsity team for this squad. These were my sisters, and we didn't want to let each other down. We didn't want to let Roos down at the end of the day, and we still have a bond together that will never change, I feel like. And the things I learned from this team about, setting those long-term goals. We start practicing in June. State champions won until November, but every day that's a goal we're going towards. Every day, looking towards that long-term goal. That's helped me run marathons and other great challenges I have had in my life to get through those things. So, and I thank all these girls. I'm so glad most of us could make here, and thank you, Roos. You were, except saying Ted Lasso is nothing on Roos. He was our friend and our coach. So, yeah.
My name is Angie Kist, Angie Kist Balfour, and I just want to say thank you. It is an honor for all of us. It's an honor for all of you. We are all we're all here because we reached the peak, the pinnacle. And while it's such a great honor, many people forget that getting to the top is never an easy rise over run. There's never a direct, straight path up there. So congratulations to all of you, because I'm sure you've had your fair share of setbacks, just like we did as a running team. Many of these girls, congratulations to them, because they were a part of many of the state championships. I was only a part of it for my senior year. But that's not to say that our dynasty didn't begin long ago. It started with Coach Russo many, many years ago, with many other athletes who aren't here, like Michelle Wagner's, Lisa Hunchies, Amanda Ward's, Karen Salins, all those, even the Holman twins, who were a part of I think they were part of our state runner-up team. But we didn't get to the top right away. It took some setbacks. But these are the most amazing girls. I was a multi-sport athlete, and they made running so much fun that I decided to run in college. These girls truly are the cream of the crop when it comes to running. High class. So thank you again for this wonderful honor, and congratulations to all my teammates.
Just a few words. One clarification, it was 4:30 a.m. when we did our two-a-days. The other thing I just want to say, we just want to thank Ron, Coach Russo. I know he's been family to all of us, and I think all of us not only do we learn that work ethic from him, but to have fun while you're doing it and to make goals. And those are things that I know all of you have with your coaches that you will carry with you for a lifetime. And when you have families of your own and jobs of your own or coaches of your own, you will pass that along to generations. So please applaud this man, because we would not be standing here if it wasn't for him, who took us under his wings way back in the day, many years ago. Thank you.
Very well done, ladies. Next, and this one hits close to home here in this building, the next team to be inducted into LaRosa's High School Sports Hall of Fame, the 25-3 Roger Bacon boys basketball team of 2001 and 2002, considered by many to be the school's greatest ever team. Not only would this basketball team set a school record for most victories at 25-3 on the year, but winning the Greater Cincinnati League Championship, it forever cemented its legacy with a single unlikely victory that become one of the most talked about games in the history of Cincinnati prep basketball. A 71-63 victory over the invincible Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's team with its star player, LeBron James. LeBron had pulled a Joe Namath and guaranteed a victory in a TV interview the night before the state title game. And before a record crowd of 18,000 plus at the Value City Arena at Ohio State, most expected St. V's to cruise to its third straight Division II title. After all, the Irish were 75-0 against teams in the state of Ohio in James' first 3 years, losing only 3 games against national competition. But that Roger Bacon team proved that it was not to be taken lightly. Coach Bill Brewer's Spartans were aggressive both on offense and defense. They were a determined bunch, and most importantly, they truly played together as a team. They had 4 double-figure scores, led by All-State guard Josh Hausfeld. Coach Brewer's plan to defend LeBron James was not to try and completely stop him. He had hoped that Beckham Wyrick could contain James man-to-man, with Monty St. Clair and Frank Phillips taking turns, and assigned others, including Dave Johnson, to shut down James' teammates. The plan worked for the first 3 quarters. James had only 8 points at a halftime. Roger Bacon led by 11 late in the third quarter, but James brought his Irish team back, making a steal at half court and dunking with a move that brought the crowd to its feet. Then he had a half-court shot at the buzzer to cut the lead to 5 for Roger Bacon. By then, James had 4 fouls, but he took over on offense, moved to the low post, and scored 13 points in the last 8 minutes. He dunked to make it 66-63 with 30 seconds left. James then had a chance to tie the game, but passed the ball, and a teammate missed a three-pointer. Another Irish player's technical foul helped Roger Bacon hold on. LeBron finished, by the way, with 32 points. In that amazing game, Roger Bacon had 4 scores in double figures. Hausfeld, 23, St. Clair, 15, Wyrick, 14, and Phillips, 13. When it came time to pick the all-tourney team, it was those 4 Roger Bacon players, along with LeBron James, who made the list. Josh Hausfeld was selected as the MVP of the game. The Spartans were the only Ohio team ever to beat LeBron James, and they knew right away they had done something special. They had the best player, but we had the better team, said Coach Brewer, who sadly died of a heart attack in 2007. The team chemistry this group developed was something quite special. They were a group of guys who genuinely liked being around one another. Neil said that from that point forward, the team bonded to become the great team that they went on to be. The Roger Bacon team recently got back together as part of an ESPN production showcasing the 20th anniversary of Bacon's state championship. And Neil noted the lasting memory from that weekend was seeing these guys who met each other as teenage boys, now laughing and sharing stories as men, as husbands, and as fathers, and as business owners, and as coaches. They are champions, he said, in more ways than just basketball. Here to say a few words about that great season and to accept the award as LaRosa's Team of the Year is the assistant coach of that great Roger Bacon team, Brian Neal.
Thank you, Paul. Hello, everyone. What a wonderful recognition this is for our basketball team. I'm so excited that this special group of young men are being recognized for all of their accomplishments. I'm proud to be something as part of something this is special and help define our school landscape. At the same time, I do feel a little conflicted to be the one up here speaking to you today. As Paul said, it's quite sad for me to be up here in place of Bill. Coach Bill Brewer suddenly passed away in 2007, and we miss him to this very day. I wanted you to know a little bit about Coach Brewer, though. He was a dedicated husband, a doting father, a loving son, a beloved teacher here at Roger Bacon, an unparalleled mentor to me and many, many others, and one of the best high school basketball coaches this city has ever seen. He was a tough, no-nonsense teacher on the court who demanded the most from his players. Just as importantly, off the court, he was one of the most genuine, caring, and giving person that I've ever met. He had a larger-than-life personality that made you just want to be around him. Luckily for me, I was fortunate to know both sides of Bill, the coach and the guy off the court. And one of the things I wanted to speak to all of you about was just Bill's focus with that group of special young men. He knew they were going to be good. In the program, it talks about him scheduling St. Vincent St. Mary early in the year for a game in December where we went up and you talked to all the guys back there kind of felt like we were the team that was the better team and knew that if we played them again, we would be the team to win. The other thing Bill did throughout the course of the year was try to develop a relentless quest for excellence. He knew this team had a chance to be special, and he demanded it. And not only that, but it was his goal to develop in our players that they would demand it from themselves and demand it from their teammates as well. One of the other stories that didn't get put in the program was a cold, wintry night in January when we're up at Chaminade-Julienne when Bill demanded excellence and we just didn't quite have it. And we go and play a really, really good Chaminade-Julienne team and end up losing by 3 in an overtime game. And for the next 90 minutes in CJ's locker room, it was the most uncomfortable that I think I've ever been in my entire life. And some of the stories these guys could tell you about that night are probably very, very priceless. Like Bill, though, I think the players knew that they had something special as well. I think they all believed not only themselves, but they believed in each other. They knew they had the talent, but they also believed in the talent of their teammates and the talent of the coaching staff. The thing that strikes me about these guys is, just talked about being a sisterhood. These guys were a brotherhood. If you didn't know better, you would think most of them, not in appearance, but when they were together, they acted like the closest of brothers. And one of the things that brotherhood brought out was the willingness to sacrifice. And I think each and every team member, all 13 of them, at some point in the year would have done something to sacrifice for any one of their teammates. This team was 13 deep and had guys who didn't get to play a lot in the games who probably would have started for most other Cincinnati teams that year. These second-teamers made each and every practice their game day. They knew that for us to be the best team possible, it was their job to beat the first-teamers every time they could. And it wasn't because they wanted more glory. It was because it was kind of their job, and they knew for us to achieve the great heights that we were capable of, it was their role and one that they really embraced. So in winning that 2002 state championship, many would say that, those guys proved in fact that Bill was right and they were right, and in fact they were special. After all, as well documented, they were the only team to ever beat LeBron James from the state of Ohio. But I can honestly stand here today and tell you that's not what makes these guys an outstanding group of young men. What makes them so special is who they were and the men that they have become. They become fathers and coaches, mentors, important contributors to their communities. They have gone on to raise wonderful families and have helped many people reach goals in life. In essence, I think they turn the lessons learned on the basketball court and have paid them forward. Before I wrap this up, I want to congratulate all of the other very deserving Hall of Fame inductees. It is truly an honor to be inducted with all these other deserving young men and women. And I would be remiss not to thank the LaRosa family, not only for this prestigious honor, but for all the support they have given to Cincinnati High School athletics throughout the years. Thank you to Buddy and Mike and Mark and Michael Palercio and Beth Rupert for your support of high school athletics and for putting together this great event. Finally, I'd like to thank them for choosing the 2002 Roger Bacon High School basketball team to be part of this LaRosa's Hall of Fame with the likes of, the who's who of Cincinnati athletics, Larkin and Griffey and Munoz and so many other legends. What an honor it is for us to be part of that group. I also want to recognize the people at that table back there. Those were all the gentlemen who were assistant coaches on that team, who helped fit all of the pieces of the puzzle together, who had to be the good cop to Bill's bad cop, and who sacrificed time and time again for the good of this special group of young men. Specifically, I want to thank Peggy Brewer. Bill may have been the coach, but I think we can all agree Peggy was the brains of the organization. She was there for every important moment and was probably that little voice in the back of Bill's head, giving him that reaffirming advice and support. Finally, I want to take this opportunity to thank the young men that made up this incredible team. Josh Hosfeld, Beckham Wyrick, Matt Reed, Tim McCoy, Nate Wyrick, Frank Phillips, David Johnson, Monty St. Clair, Leonard Bush, John Newton, Marcus Smith, Zach Grunwald, Kevin Weimeyer, and Aaron Ranford. Gentlemen, thank you so much for representing Roger Bacon in all of the best ways. You gave me and so many other supporters of Roger Bacon the time of our lives, and for that, we will be forever grateful for your relentless effort, your camaraderie, and your undying dedication to being the best that you could be. Gentlemen, congratulations on your induction into the 2023 LaRosa's Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Okay, so I've spent a lot of time around that Roger Bacon team. When you cover sports here in Cincinnati, every now and then it pops up something to do with this team. I need you guys to clear up something for me. Is Beckham here today? Beckham is not here, but you guys can probably help me out with this, okay? So there's a legend, and we all did this when we played basketball as kids. You get on the court and you say, I got number 25, I got number 21, or I got him. Did he really walk on the court and say, I got the chosen one? Did that really happen? I'm seeing some heads shake, yes. Okay, so until I see Beckham and he can fully confirm that story, I'll still consider it legend that he walked on the court, looked at LeBron James and said, I got the chosen one. That is a boss move right there, man. If you walk on the court of a state championship game and do that. So we all know this. This is the best high school sports Hall of Fame in Greater Cincinnati, and the best needs the best committee of people judging and documenting these unbelievable athletes, coaches, and teams. I want to point out just a few names here of the committee members who have made a passion of doing this. They are here with us today. Today doesn't happen without them, so I'd like to recognize the following names: Mike LaRosa, Mark LaRosa, Bill Mefford, Wayne Boxmiller, Paul Keels, and Dennis Jansen, just part of the Buddy LaRosa's High School Hall of Fame committee. Guys, thank you for everything you do to make this a wonderful, wonderful Hall of Fame. Also to our committee chairman, Michael Palercio. Thank you, Michael, and special thanks to Beth Rupert, Jeff Lovelace, and RPI Printing. Today doesn't happen without all of those people, so thank you to them. Before we induct our new inductees, I would like to recognize some of our past inductees who are with us today. Just a few. Ron Russo, who we met there momentarily. Yes, Ron, congratulations. Thanks for coming back. Nell Fuchs in the house. Hi, Nell. Welcome back. And Donna Meckley is here as well. Thanks for coming back, Donna, and congratulations on all your success. Now the new inductees. A Cincinnati number popped up on her cell phone, and living in Georgia, she figured, you know what, I might as well pick this up. When Michael LaRosa told her the news, Danielle Borgman Sunderhouse thought it must be her younger brother playing a joke. Amazing, she said. You hope for it, but you never expect it. It's a little bit surreal. Amazing and surreal. 2 words I may borrow, Danielle, to best describe your soccer career. In a city blessed with remarkable soccer players, Danielle Borgman clearly ranks among the best in greater Cincinnati history. A forward midfielder out of Macaulay High School, Danielle played several years with the U.S. women's national soccer team, won 2 national championships at North Carolina, and was the first-round draft pick for the San Jose Cyber Rays in 2002. Her high school awards are a wow. Danielle was regarded as one of the top 5 female soccer players in the United States by the USA Today, was named Best Forward in the United States by Parade Magazine, was an Umbro All-American, and was picked Gatorade Circle of Champions Ohio Player of the Year in the Midwest. A 4-year starter at North Carolina, she tied the school record for most games played. Not only did she win 2 national championships, she was also a 2-time NCAA runner-up. She played with San Jose, Boston, and Carolina professionally before a car accident changed the course of her life and her career. She is also the author and publisher of a book about pulling yourself out of the discouragement of a disaster, learning how to cope with it, move on, and stop blaming God for your circumstance. Currently, Danielle has created her own program called I Am, which is a faith-based culture that promotes growth in a positive environment for individuals. She, of course, still coaches club soccer now in Brunswick, Georgia, and here to help her celebrate are her husband, Nick, her twins, TJ and Caitlin, Jerry, her dad, her brothers, Justin and Jeremy, and her in-laws, Bobby and Peggy. From the Macaulay class of 1998 to the LaRosa's High School Hall of Fame, please welcome Danielle Borgman Sunderhouse.
Thank you. First, I want to thank the LaRosa's family for giving me this wonderful opportunity, and for Buddy LaRosa, who followed his dreams. He wasn't afraid to go after what he wanted. And I guess that in reality, we're all like Mr. LaRosa. We knew what we wanted, and we were brave enough to go after our dreams and ambitions. We never know the path in which our dreams will take us, or the people that we'll meet, or who will help us along the way. But I can tell you that one thing that you can count on when you go on this journey is the faith that you have, the support system around you, and the ability to work and to train while others are resting, because when you do that, all things are possible. You must have faith, because with faith you can do all things. Some people think that faith comes from seeing. They expect the recognition, or they want to understand how the dream or their goal is going to work out. You have to believe that it's going to happen before it actually starts to happen in your life. It sounds funny to say that I believed in my heart that one day I'd be able to represent my country, that one day I'd be able to step out on the field as a Tar Heel. I didn't know my dreams and my goals weren't normal. I just didn't. It didn't fathom, it didn't cross my mind that setting those goals wasn't something most people did. And I pride myself, and I tell my family, don't be like most people. Because when you have that goal and when you have that dream and you really start to go after it, you can unleash something within yourself that you didn't know was possible. Growing up and running the ball fields at St. John's over there in Dry Ridge, and then going out onto the fields of Macaulay, I had the best time. It was freeing. It was my time to be me. A lot of us here, athletes, coaches, it's our time. It's our moment. And it's in those moments that we learn to grow and to be something new and someone new. All I knew in that moment was I had a goal. I knew people were laughing at me and not quite understanding why I didn't want to go out on the weekends, why I was going to soccer, why I was missing concerts, but it's always about the sacrifices. Coaches will tell you you have to give up something to get something. The other athletes will tell you 4:30 in the morning workouts. It's not fun. People are wondering why you do it. Your friends are telling you just sleep in. What's the big deal if you miss one practice? It is a big deal. I will be honest, I didn't start off as the most skilled soccer player out there. I didn't make my varsity soccer team as a freshman. But it was that stuff that fueled me. It lit a fire within me. And it's that fire that I try to pass on to my family. And a lot of times I remember that I would sit there and I would have people say, well, what if they don't notice you? And my response was, I'll just have to work harder. And it's in working harder and in understanding that you truly can control what is going on within your world and outside your world by just giving a little bit more that motivated me to get up and to keep stepping forward. I hope that my determination and my hard work are examples to my children, TJ and Caitlin. I've learned one thing on this journey, that God doesn't set you up for failure when you set yourself up for success. You have to work hard. You have to be willing to give up things. You have to block out the negative voices, your own, other people's. And you have to love what you do. You absolutely have to love it. My family was my driving force. And I hope that I can be my family's driving force as well. So with that, I want to thank my family for being here today. Because really, without them, I couldn't be here. They supported me not only as a child, as a young teenager, but now they support me as a mom. I don't know if I could achieve half of what I've done in my life if it wasn't for them. I have many people here in attendance today. My dad, Jerry, his wife, Terry, my brother, Justin, his wife, Julie, my in-laws, Bobby and Peggy, my sister-in-law, Carrie, and her husband, Ian. I want to thank you for being here because each and every one of you has had an impact on my life and my soccer career along the way. I also want to thank those family members that couldn't be here today. My mom, Sue, and my brother, Jeremy, and his wife, Susan. They supported me on this journey, and I'm grateful to them as well. So the same can also be said about my husband, Nick. We definitely challenge each other every day. We really do, and it makes each one of us better. I also want to thank the LaRosa's family one last time for allowing me to be a part of this day. And I want to thank all of those that helped me along the way that aren't here today. I really do appreciate this recognition. Thank you.
So I talked to Danielle this week before the ceremony here today, and I asked her, is there one memory from your playing days you really look back on, you hang on to? She said, when you're 15 years old and you're wearing the Team USA uniform, and you hear the national anthem, it just kind of gives you chills a little bit. That's a really cool memory to hang on to. So congratulations again to Danielle. Oh my gosh, I don't think I answered the call. A voicemail from Mike LaRosa. Did I win pizza for a year or something? She wondered, because we get it so much. Yeah, kind of like me. That's when Jenny Case returned the message, and Jenny found out she is now a Hall of Famer. Regarded as one of the finest volleyball coaches in Greater Cincinnati, Jenny coached 24 seasons, which included 4 Division I state championships over an 11-year span. She coached at Coleraine. She coached 9 seasons at Lakota East, won a conference championship there. But it's when she moved to Ursuline Academy in 2006, her career went to the moon. 490 high school wins, winning nearly 80% of her matches. Did you ever think about staying on for 10 more? 500? A nice number, but 490 is good itself. At Ursuline, she helped capture the Ohio Division I state championship 4 times. The last 2 times, she did so while coaching her daughter, Logan. In all, she was the Ohio Division I state Final Four 6 times over an 11-year period and reached the Elite 8 14 times with Ursuline. Her awards and accolades were numerous and obviously well-deserved, topped off by being named the National High School Coach of the Year in 2016, which she told me is right there with coaching her daughter as the biggest thrill of her coaching career. Check the program. If there's a Coach of the Year award, she won it and probably did it multiple times. An outstanding athlete in her own right, Jenny was a 3-sport star at Seton, where her volleyball teams won the 1986 and 1988 Ohio State championships. She went on to star in 3 sports at Thomas More, where she was a 3-time All-American in volleyball. Let's do the math here. Jenny, you're in 5 Halls of Fame. This will be number 6. Currently, Jenny and her husband, John Paul, live in Maineville. They have 1 daughter, Logan, currently on scholarship at Western Michigan playing volleyball. And Jenny and her husband are the owners of Sports Express and Elevation Volleyball Club, where she is a coach and volleyball instructor. 2 of her sisters, Diane and Mary, are here to help her celebrate the newest member of the LaRosa's High School Hall of Fame, Jenny Case.
I would first like to thank Mike and the LaRosa family and Buddy. They do so much for high school sports in our community. I would like to thank the committee for this special honor. Thanks to Mike Palercio and Beth Rupert for their help through this process. And thanks to Roger Baking for holding this special event. I would also like to congratulate all the inductees for this year. I'd like to thank my parents. My mom passed away from COVID a few years ago, and my dad is 90 in a nursing home with Alzheimer's. But I know they'd be here if they could. My dad would have loved being here and would have been so proud. They were great, supportive parents. Not too much, but always there cheering me on whether I was playing or coaching. My mom always found the positive, even if I had a bad game, and my dad would say, "Let me see your face." If I wasn't red or purple, he'd say you didn't play hard enough. Thanks to my sisters, I'm the youngest of 6, and they have always been some of my biggest supporters. They came to my games in high school and in college, and they started coming to cheer my teams on when I coached. They would stick around after games to talk, and they would get to know some of the families of players on my teams. It was so nice to have them to talk and vent to, and they always knew if my team lost, they would just go home and let me have a few days before calling me or bringing it up. Thanks, Diane and Mary, for being such great big sisters and for coming today to share this special day. I'd like to thank my husband, John Paul. JP was a football guy, and when I met him, we started playing sand volleyball together. Then we both started working at a volleyball complex, which we now own, and running a junior Olympic volleyball club. We have 1 daughter that plays volleyball, so JP is now a volleyball guy, whether he wanted to be or not. We have been together for 30 years, and I've been coaching since the day I met him. JP has been good for me because he's the voice of reason. I can be a little too competitive sometimes, and he usually tries to calm me down and gets me to see the positive. Thanks, JP, for putting up with my craziness all these years and making it possible for me to coach as long as I have. Thanks to my one and only daughter, Logan. Logan would come with me to every practice from when she was in a car seat to when she first started walking to when she could shag volleyballs and to when she could finally help with a drill. I coached her grade school team from 3rd grade to 8th grade and coached her at Ursuline from freshman year to senior year. We didn't lose a match in grade school and won 2 state championships together, which was a dream come true for me. I know having your mom coach you all your life might not be ideal, but Logan made it pretty easy. As a coach, you always wonder, am I getting through to my players? Am I teaching them life lessons? Am I teaching them to be fighters and good people? I know I did something right when I watched my daughter play. In the way she treats her coaches and teammates with the utmost respect, how hard she competes and plays, and how she leads her teams and the way her teammates look up to her. Thanks, Logan, for all those special memories and making me so proud as a coach and a mom. Sorry. Every coach has those special players that they've coached and then they stayed in contact with because they had a connection or had a good relationship. I have a few of those, and one of my closest friends is Kelly Burns Wendling, and she's here today. I coached Kelly in club ball, and then she coached with me at Ursuline, and now she has a family of her own. We have always stayed in contact with each other and became lifelong friends. Thanks, Kelly, for being there for me and letting me bounce things off you. You're one of the most loyal people I know. Thanks to Colerain High School and Lakota East. Colerain was my first ever high school coaching job, and when Lakota split, I was the first volleyball coach at Lakota East and coached there for 9 years. I had a great experience at both of those schools and met some awesome people. I appreciate that they took a chance on me, and both schools were great stepping stones for my coaching career. Last but not least, I'd like to thank Diane Redmond and Ursuline Academy. I wasn't sure how I'd fit in at Ursuline being a West Sider, but when I got to know Diane Redmond, I knew it was going to be a good fit for me. I left Lakota East for Ursuline because I wanted to coach in the GGCL, because I played at Seton and loved how competitive the league was. I was at Ursuline for 14 years, and I had some very, very talented teams. Diane was so easy to work for. I feel like she took care of so many things, and all I had to do was the coaching. She would text or call me after a big win to congratulate me, or call me after a hard loss to console me and talk about it. Diane always had my back with parents, even when they didn't approve of the way I handled things. It is so nice when someone you work for truly believes in you, and I felt that way with Diane. I felt like we became closer and closer every year I coached there, and now after 14 years, we are lifelong friends. When I resigned in 2019 to watch my daughter play in college, she totally understood and supported my decision. To this day, we still talk on the phone, and we can definitely do some talking, and we get together here and there to catch up. Thanks, Diane, for being so easy to work for and having my back. Thanks again to Mike and the LaRosa family and the committee. Thanks to Joe Daneman for being the MC today, and thanks again to all my family and friends who came today to share this special honor. Thank you.
So I sent Jenny a text, I think probably last weekend, maybe 10 days ago. I said, hey, you got 5 minutes this week just to talk about this so I can introduce you properly. She said she had to wait until about Wednesday of midweek because she didn't have a voice from coaching last weekend. So I'm glad you're able to recover your voice in time for today in that great speech. I almost started crying when you talked about your daughter. I'm just a soft old man these days. It's funny, I talk about people losing their voice. I talked to Bo on the phone. He told me he was going to the Reds game on Friday night. We all know how that one turned out. One of the most exciting games in Great American Ballpark history. Ellie De La Cruz hitting for the cycle. Your voice okay? We're working on it, okay? Because I know he's a huge Reds fan, and that was a lot of fun to watch. Okay, let's talk about Bo. I about fell out of my chair. In a city with guys like Kyle Rudolph and Luke Kuechly, how me? Bo, let's put 2 minutes on the clock and tell everybody how. The finest quarterback in Indian Hill high school history, he set 8 school records and set historic records at the state level as well. A finalist for the LaRosa's Athlete of the Year, Bo finished his high school career with more than 8,000 yards passing, 99 total touchdowns. You just couldn't do one more, could you? Make it that nice even 100. Okay, it wasn't a good enough runner. We could have gotten one more in. He also led Indian Hill to 4 straight Cincinnati Hills League titles and 2 Ohio Division III state playoff appearances. Bo's teams never lost a league game. He made sure to tell me they never lost to Wyoming while he was in high school. That was a big deal. You won awards? Bo did that. Twice named All-Ohio Division III, the Cincinnati Enquirer Division III Player of the Year, and Southwest Ohio Player of the Year as well. A finalist for the prestigious That's My Boy Award, Bo was also the MVP of the East-West All-Star Game. Bo's collegiate career culminated in being inducted into the Tusculum College Hall of Fame in 2018. He was twice a finalist for the Harlan Hill Trophy, that's the Division II Heisman Trophy, and was the Tennessee Sports Writers Association College Player of the Year. At time of his graduation in 2013, Bo Cordell owned 15 NCAA Division II records, including career passing yards, career completions, and career total offensive yards. He also established 19 school records, including most passing yards in a game with 596 against Elizabeth City State. Is one of the 16 times he threw for more than 400 yards in a game, including 6 times throwing for more than 500 yards. Currently, Bo is the Vice President of Sales for Covenant Logistics and lives in Chattanooga, Tennessee, with his wife Katie and daughters Crosley and Camden. I believe they're here today. Hi, kids. You're being so good, too. Nice and quiet back there. Here as well are his parents, Cindy and John, his 92-year-old grandma, Thelma, who I was told just recently, as a couple of years ago, still cut her own grass, which is amazing to me. His twin sister, Joy, her husband, Kyle, they're all here to celebrate. It's the teammates that got me here. That's the QB answer, right? He said. You're right, Bo, but you're pretty darn good, too. Indian Hill class of 2009, and now LaRosa's Hall of Famer, Mr. Bo Cordell.
Thank you, Joe. Kind of a funny story about Joe. He texted me last week and said, hey, do you have 5 to 10 minutes to talk football with me and talk some of those old days? And I think we ended up talking for 30 minutes. We talked Ellie De La Cruz, Joey Votto, the Reds, Joe Burrow, everything. So those of you who know me know I'm a Cincinnati sports nut. So to be honored in a Hall of Fame with people like Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Larkin, Roger Staubach, and a number of other people, including all the inductees here today, is just an absolute blessing and an honor. I'd like to first off thank the LaRosa's family for putting this on. Doing some research last night on how the Hall of Fame started, buddy. What you've been able to do for the Cincinnati sports community, specifically on the high school side, is unbelievable. And this is unbelievable, the setting that we have here today. So thank you. And again, congratulations to all the people that were inducted into the Hall of Fame. Quick funny story. You heard about the stats, you heard about the wins, all that fun stuff. But my high school career actually got off to a pretty rough start. Coach Seipel, I don't know if you remember this, we were beating Ross High School by about 50 points, 50-0. I was a freshman backing up legendary quarterback Michael Scherpenberg, who, if he's not already in the Hall of Fame, hopefully will be one day. He was just an absolute stud. We were up 50-0. I thought I'd just go in and hand the ball off. I was a freshman, probably was 5'2", 150 pounds, probably didn't even weigh that. Of course, Coach Seipel looked at me and said, first play, you're throwing deep. So I'm like, oh, great, this is going to be awesome. I wasn't prepared, right? So if I remember correctly, we called Vegas to the left side. I remember the guy being wide open. He ended up having like 4 people on it. The ball got intercepted. So first ever pass was intercepted. I get into the car with my parents, who I'll talk about in a little bit. I'm just blessed to have parents like them. And my dad's talking football. He's talking about how proud he was of me of getting in the game. And my mom looks at me. She goes, so Mike Scherpenberg, legendary quarterback, what did he say to you before he got in? And the only thing that he told me before that was, don't throw an interception. And, of course, that's what I did. So luckily, Coach Seipel gave me a few other opportunities to throw the ball since then, probably why my arm's a little sore now. So thanks, Coach. So for me, there are 2 things that are most important to me. First off, it's faith. Second, it's family. So my relationship with Jesus Christ, he's certainly blessed me and all of us here with the ability to play games that we love and hopefully make impacts with the platform that we've been given. And I hope that all of us have been able to do that at a high level. Second is my family. Start with my mom and dad, Cindy and John. They were just a tremendous resource for me. Never missed a game for me growing up. Primary school, I started in 2nd grade all the way up through college. Never missed a game. Famously, they drove about 15,000 miles in college to come to every single one of my games, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. I love you so much. Second, my beautiful wife, Katie, my rock. I travel a ton for work. She is a huge help and is a wonderful mother to my 2 kids that you hear yelling back there. Camden and Crosley. Crosley, yes, named after Crosley Field. Like I said, we kind of like sports in this family. Also, my twin sister, Joy. She got the looks and the athleticism in the family. Not sure how I'm up here and not you. And then my grandma, Thelma, who as was mentioned, was 92 years old. And I remember you driving me to saxophone lessons back in the day and going to Skyline and LaRosa's after. And I can't thank you enough for that. And then also my extended family here today. So got my brother-in-law, Kyle, got my father-in-law, Steve, and my mother-in-law, Terry. They're just a tremendous support system. And thanks for running around in the back with all the kids. So next, I'd like to thank my coaches. As all of us athletes have mentioned up here today, coaches are extremely important to our growth. Coach Seipel, who was my head coach in high school, I remember going to your youth camps growing up. That's when I first realized that I love football and baseball, actually. So thanks for giving me the opportunity. We threw it 30, 40, 50 times a game, and was very instrumental in helping me get to Tusculum College, and you're very, very integral in the man that I've become today, so thank you for that. Also, my quarterback coach in high school, Coach Finaski. Coach Finaski helped me grow my faith when I was in high school. Also, I started to learn how much I love watching film from you, and I took that on to college and ended up playing a little bit professionally, so thank you for that. Not here today, Coach Bolser, who's no longer with us, unfortunately. Coach Eli and Coach Walker, who was our offensive coordinator my senior year. I was blessed with really good coaches. And then last but certainly not least, my teammates. I had wonderful teammates. Some of you guys maybe have heard the names. Ted Bolser ended up playing for the Redskins. Had wonderful receivers. When you throw it 30, 40, 50 times a game, you got to have good people to pass the ball. So if it wasn't for them, I certainly wouldn't be in this position. And I think that this more of as a team award as opposed to an individual award. And then also the offensive line. My junior and senior year, I think combined I got sacked like 4 or 5 times, and we threw it almost every play. So offensive line was great, and I appreciate them for everything they did for me, and of course the defense being able to give us the ball back. So thanks again for the opportunity to be here, LaRosa's family. This is a tremendous blessing and honor, and congrats again to all the people that are being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And Gibson, shout out to you for being an Indian Hill alum. Congratulations. So thanks, everybody.
I had the chance to meet Bo's family when they came here today, and I found out that game Friday night, his dad was sitting in the seat. Was it Votto's second home run? The 2-run home run from Joey Votto. You had gone to the concession stand, is that correct?
I was up getting LaRosa's pizza.
How about that, right? Up getting LaRosa's pizza, and Joey Votto's home run ball lands in their seat. They don't get the ball. I mean, you would have called. It's amazing how things work out. That's funny, but yeah. Congratulations, Bo. Outstanding. You don't get to relive those days, she said. It'll be nice to relive that again. So let's relive right now what made Missy Harpino our newest Hall of Famer. Unquestionably, the last great volleyball player to come out of the tradition-rich Mother of Mercy program, Missy Harpino may be the best to have ever played for the Bobcats. Named the PrepVolleyball.com National Player of the Year in 2007, she powered Mercy to a 52-6 record in her final 2 seasons. She was the driving force behind Mercy's final Division I state championship in 2007. Her 33 kills led Mercy to a hard-fought state title against rival Mount Notre Dame. It avenged a loss in the state finals the previous year to MND, and she wound up being named MVP of the state tournament as the 28-1 Bobcats wound up ranked number 6 in the nation by PrepVolleyball.com. In addition to being named National Player of the Year, Missy gathered many more honors. She was the Ohio Gatorade Player of the Year, was selected as a member of the Fab 50 by Mizuno and Volleyball Magazine, and was named a high school senior All-American by the American Volleyball Coaches Association. Missy was first team All-Ohio and was named Volleyball Player of the Year by both the GGCL and the Cincinnati Enquirer. The Greater Cincinnati Women's Sports Association chose her as both the Volleyball Player of the Year and Overall Sportswoman of the Year. She continued her amazing career at the University of Cincinnati, where she became only the 6th UC player in history to record 1,000 kills and 1,000 digs in a single career, and she was twice named Honorable Mention All-American. Currently, Missy Harpino lives in Cincinnati and is a talent acquisition lead at Brightview Health. Here to celebrate are her fiancé Jonathan, her mom Lynn, her dad Mike, and her sister Lauren. From Mother of Mercy to the LaRosa's High School Hall of Fame, Missy Harpino.
Good afternoon. It is such a tremendous honor to be here with you all today. I want to first recognize Buddy, Mike, and the entire LaRosa family for creating such an incredible legacy with this Hall of Fame and the LaRosa's MVP program. Thank you to Roger Bacon for putting together such a wonderful banquet, and thank you to Beth and Mike Palercio. It's amazing to have my closest friends and family here today, so thank you to help coordinate the invites, even the last-minute ones. To all the other inductees here tonight, congratulations. Looking at the long list of Cincinnati legends that have been inducted previously and all of the accolades accolades of you all here today, it is extremely humbling to be receiving this honor. To my family, as all of us here today know, success isn't achieved alone. So thank you to my parents, Mike and Lynn, for your endless, unwavering support, motivation, and time. My sister Lauren, thank you for pushing me early on to be better every day through your very own and unique version of motivation and constructive criticism. You are all a huge reason I was the player I became and the person I am today. I also want to thank and recognize my coaches and my teammates. Throughout my career at Mercy and the University of Cincinnati, I was fortunate enough to have coaches and teammates who fought for and with me every single day. If it wasn't for the dedication of my teammates, coaches, trainers, and most importantly, my family, I wouldn't be standing here today. When Joe Danman and I were talking about this upcoming banquet, he asked me what I love so much about the game. It made me look back and reflect, and it occurred to me that there are so many reasons why I love the game. But what I really love are the lessons it taught me along the way. Volleyball and sport in general, it's taught me commitment, toughness, accountability, resilience, respect, and a sense of community, all values I carry proudly with me today. When people talk about game-winning plays or the game of my career and ask, do you remember this point or that match or this game? The truth is, I don't. But what I do remember are the feelings. I remember how it felt to fail the first time, and I remember how good it felt to succeed and celebrate with my teammates and family after putting in all the hard work together. But there's one feeling I will always remember and look back on my career, and that's the feeling of camaraderie you have with your teammates and your competitors. What I will always remember is having the opportunity to share the same grit, perseverance, and trust with an incredible group of athletes and coaches who constantly pushed me to be the best teammate and person I could be. Being a part of something bigger than yourself and sharing that success and failure together is something truly special. Hands down, I know I would not be the person I am today without having played volleyball. So in conclusion, I will leave with this. There's a very small, very simple quote that my dad used to always tell me that stuck with me ever since the first time I heard it. I would repeat this to myself over and over again at practices, games, early morning workouts, in the weight room. And that simple quote is, always be the hardest worker. No matter your size, athleticism, or position in life and where it takes you, always be the hardest worker. And that simple quote has given me some unbelievable opportunities. So thanks again for this honor, and congratulations again to everyone here on their accomplishments.
You know, it's funny, Missy mentioned it, you don't remember a lot of the games and the feelings and the final scores of what happens when you're in high school, but she did remember when I asked her about the state championship at the team party after the game. She remembered what they had. They had LaRosa's at the team party after winning state. Kind of a full circle thing here today. Congratulations to Missy. It's been crazy, she said. It's full circle, and I don't think it'll hit me until I'm a little bit older. Those are the words of new Hall of Famer Sydney Moss. Arguably the greatest female basketball player in greater Cincinnati history, Sydney played 3 seasons for Boone County High School, where she was only the 5th Northern Kentucky player to be named Miss Basketball in Kentucky. The 21st athlete inducted into this Hall of Fame on the first ballot, Sydney was named the LaRosa's High School Female Athlete of the Year in 2012. She led the Lady Rebels to 3 straight Sweet 16 tournaments and finished her high school career with 2,997 points and more than 1,600 rebounds. In addition to being named Miss Kentucky Basketball, she was also the Kentucky Gatorade Player of the Year, the AP Player of the Year, and the Kentucky Player of the Year by both the Lexington Herald Leader and Louisville Courier Journal. The Kentucky Inquirer named her Player of the Year 3 times, and she was also the Greater Cincinnati Women's Sports Association Player of the Year. I asked Sydney what she remembers most from high school, and she said her head coach, Nell Fuchs. She was almost like my second mom, she said, and sometimes my first mom. I don't know if my high school career would have been what it was without her and her husband. Sydney signed with the University of Florida, where she was named the SEC Freshman of the Year. She transferred the following year to Thomas More, where she absolutely dominated, twice being named Division III's National Player of the Year. In 3 years as a Saint, she lost a total of 1 game en route to consecutive NCAA Division III national championships. Moss was named National Player of the Year 3 consecutive seasons by 3 organizations and averaged over 22 points and 7 rebounds each of her 3 years and set the D3 record with 63 points in 1 single game. Sydney was inducted into the Thomas More Hall of Fame in 2022 and is now the head coach at Wilmington College. From the Boone County class of 2012, please welcome and congratulate Sydney Moss.
Thank you. I talked to Joe earlier this week, and he was like, "Are you going to say much in your speech?" I said, "Probably not. There's so many different people to thank. First of all, thank you to the LaRosa's Hall of Fame committee for putting this together. Congratulate to the other inductees. And then talking to Joe, I kind of thought about my high school career and who really impacted me. One was my grandpa, who passed away my freshman year whenever I was down at Florida. He was such an influence in my life. He helped me become the basketball player I was, taught me life lessons about hard work and dedication. I don't cry, so give me a second. Secondly, my head coach, Nell Fuchs, who is with me today. She helped me beyond basketball. She was someone that took me under her wing and guided me while I was, just a young lady. Sorry, I can't see my screen. And I think that what I just said is how all of our players think of her. She is an amazing person, a mentor, and now that I'm getting into coaching, it's somebody that I look up to and who I want to coach after. Coach, thank you for treating me like the daughter you never had. Thanks.
Now, Sydney just started as the head coach at Wilmington, so good luck, Sydney. I know you'll kill it there. You've done an amazing job at every level of college basketball you've been a part of. Our final inductee today. I was big, powerful, and fast. You ask Ed Shuttlesworth for a scouting report on himself. Ed, I think you nailed it. If you want a prime example of a punishing running back, you need look no further than our next inductee. Ed Shuttlesworth was one of the premier running backs in greater Cincinnati in the late 1960s and went on to enjoy an outstanding career at the University of Michigan and later in the Canadian Football League. Ed helped power legendary coach Jack Campbell's Bulldogs to 4 straight public high school league championships during his career. As a senior, Ed was the second leading scorer in Cincinnati football with 152 points, 22 touchdowns, and 10 two-point conversions. Ed played in the Ohio North-South All-Star Game and was named first-team All-City by the Cincinnati Post and Times-Star and second-team All-City by the Cincinnati Enquirer. A more accurate depiction of Shuttlesworth's prowess came from his career at the University of Michigan, where he played for another legendary head coach, Bo Schembechler. A 3-year letterman for the Wolverines, he rushed for 2,300 yards in his career, which ranked number 3 all-time at Michigan at the time of his graduation, and he scored 26 touchdowns for the Wolverines. He was twice named All-Big Ten and played on 3 Big Ten championship teams and starred in the 1972 Rose Bowl, in which he rushed for 62 yards on 18 carries. Ed went on to play professionally after college, where he was drafted 37th overall by the Baltimore Colts. He opted, though, to sign a 3-year contract with the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League. Currently, Ed is retired and lives in Decatur, Georgia. He has 2 children, Sterling and Evan. It is an honor and a privilege, he said. Those were some of the purest, best times playing football when I was in high school. From the Woodward class of 1970 to the LaRosa's High School Hall of Fame, please welcome Mr. Ed Shuttlesworth.
Thank you very much. Thanks to the LaRosa's Hall of Fame Committee. It's quite an honor, and congratulations to all the other inductees. I actually grew up East Mitchell and on the other side of East Mitchell. My family came here in 1961. We escaped from Birmingham, Alabama, and it's been a joy to be here. I have some of my teammates here to help me celebrate. Woodward was a powerhouse back then, and I was just a part of it. They won many games before I came and after I left. But while we were there, we were undefeated in the PHSL. Once again, thank you very much.
That's something I do quite often at Hall of Fame events. Pull the microphone back down to my level. Congratulations again to our new inductees, Danielle, Jenny, Bo, Missy, Sydney, and Ed. And congratulations again to our new team inductees, the Roger Bacon basketball team and the great team of Coleraine Cross Country in 1997. There has to be somebody on that team who feels my pain, right? Of being on this loaded team that has all these Division I runners, and you're a pretty decent runner yourself, but you're just not good enough to crack the varsity. I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. There has to be somebody on that team. Maybe not. Congratulations again to everybody inducted today. Thank you again to the Hall of Fame committee for your work on this. Thank you again to Buddy LaRosa and to Mike LaRosa for this amazing event in the High School Hall of Fame. I do a lot of these events, the Hall of Fame. This is the class. This is the best. To be inducted into this, to be a part of this is an honor, and I'm sure everybody up here feels that today. Again, congratulations to everyone inducted today. If you were inducted, team or individual, please come to the front. We have some pictures to take with your award. Thanks again for coming today. We'll see you next year, year number 49 of the Buddy LaRosa's High School Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Good job.
Thank you, Paul.
Not surprising. Great
Yeah.
job.
I
It's
wish
good to see you.
Likewise.
All right.
You see Adam, give him some help.
I will. I should see him hopefully tomorrow.
You will.